right field, way back. He looks up. You can put it on the board. Yes. A grand slam home run by Adam Eaton, and our Sox lead it 10-7. Mercy. And we are coming to you from Progressive Field in Cleveland, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Todd Frazier, Jose Abreu, Melky Cabrera, and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Jason Kipnis, Francisco Lindor, and the first place Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrell. Since we get set to bring you the finale of this three-game set, and it will be the rubber match. As you know, Quintana pitched very well in the opener, but he got beat. We didn't do anything for him. We got beat 3-1. Corey Kluber did that. Then last night in Game 2, I'll tell you, well, we talked about him last night in the Open, and we got to talk about him tonight in the Open.
Adam Eaton is really putting everything together, and he had his first Grand Slam of his career last night. But before that Grand Slam, he's been doing just about everything right. He's hitting the ball out of the ballpark. As you can see, over the last 5 games, hitting .429. He's not only hitting the ball well, but he's fielding very well, and that's been really a trademark all year long. He's in line to win a Gold Glove in right field. He's been among the best. He has more assists than anybody in the American League, and he keeps on throwing the ball right on the button and throwing out base runners consistently. Last night, almost hurt his knee, but made a fine play. So Adam Eaton is getting it done, and hopefully some of his mates can help him. They scored 10 last night. Might not need quite that many tonight.
Well, looking to build off his first win since May 22nd in his last start, Carlos Rodon.
Everybody was asking, when's Carlos going to come along? How come Chris Sale developed so quickly and Carlos may be taking a little more time? Last couple of times out, Carlos Rodon has looked like the guy that was the 3rd pick in the country in the first round. He was absolutely brilliant. Against Miami, 6 innings, 3 hits and 1 run. And it looked to me like, building off a fine outing the outing before, he's just getting more and more confident. So I look for a big outing from him tonight. And take a look at his mound opponent, Danny Salazar. Carlos Rodon 3-0 lifetime against the Indians. Danny Salazar 5-2 lifetime against our Sox, where Carlos has a 1.75 ERA. Danny has a 3.19 ERA. So this is going to be a good pitcher's duel tonight. The Indians, right in the thick of things, they lead, not exactly a commanding margin, but a good one, and our Sox trying to become relevant.
All right, this is the rubber match of this 3-game set, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Brought to you in part by Toyota. Discover more in a Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com or your local Toyota dealer today. Let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. Audi. Truth in engineering. And by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Welcome back to Progressive Field. It's a gorgeous night in Cleveland, and let's take a look at how Robin is going to line them up on our Kia starting lineup for the game this evening. Adam Eaton, last night's hero, leading it off, and it's Tyler Saladino. Melky Cabrera, Jose Abreu with Justin Morneau, the DH. It's Todd Frazier, Tim Anderson, J.B. Shuck, and Omar Narvaez getting another start. Our Honda City defense, and now Terry Francona is going to put him out there behind Danny Salazar, Brandon Geyer in left, Rajay Davis in center, and Abraham Almonte is in right. It's Jose Ramirez, Francisco Lindor, Jason Kipnis, and Mike Napoli in the infield. Roberto Perez gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Danny Salazar. Fresh off the disabled list, he's got a pitching limit. It's going to be somewhere under 100, and we'll see in the control because he didn't have a rehab start. As you can see, on for his 21st start, his ERA 3.38. The umpires for the game tonight. The finale of the series, the finale of the road trip. Adrian Johnson behind the plate, Chad Whitson at first, Gary Cederstrom, the crew chief, is at second, and Jim Wolf is at third. So they've thrown a ball around the infield. The Indians, who come in first place, they are leading by 6 full games, 7 in the loss column over Detroit, and they're ready to continue their homestand. And we're ready to start this game, so it's time for me to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stoney, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the finale and the rubber match. As Adam Eaton stands in, and before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Danny Salazar, one of the best right-handed arms in the game.
He's going to top out about 97. He's got a great split change, and that's one of his biggest weapons.
You know the thing about that 97, there's 3 kinds of 97s. He's got the upper echelon 97. He's real easy and just a flip, and here it comes.
And he just was a beneficiary of a questionable call.
They got 3-0 on the board. And there's one. Sox come in hitting at .252 as a club with a 4.08 ERA. Sox have played this club 11 times this year, and we won 3 of the 11. And there's a good way to start it. The dreaded leadoff walk.
That's the one thing they worried about as far as Cleveland is concerned, not sending Salazar out for a rehab start. He threw a couple of sidelines, said the arm was feeling okay. He's had periodic elbow problems. One of the reasons why the Indians, who have tied up a lot of their young pitchers, have not tried to tie up Danny Salazar on a long-term basis.
Here's Saladino. That's high neck in. Don't help him out.
.75% for Adam Eaton. Perez has got a very good arm, and he's made one great throw in this series, throwing the ball very well.
That man, 11 straight seasons of over 500. Truly remarkable in this culture.
He got close last year, but they eased their way to 81-80. But he's one of the really good managers in all of baseball.
11 straight years were in that argument.
Yeah.
But he's got a nice club. The more you see this ball club, the more you like them. The Indians, they can catch it. They can hit it, and they can certainly pitch it. Their first 3 are just about as good as anybody, and their first 5 were all their starters. Just about as formidable as anybody in this league.
That's one of the keys, especially when adding Andrew Miller to the bullpen. Now the bullpen gets substantially stronger to go with that starting rotation, which has been strong.
Well, they only have the 6-game lead, so it's certainly not over yet with the Tigers. But where it is, it's August 18th. I'm going to say right now, my pick the last 2 years have been Kansas City in this league, and I'm going to pick Cleveland this year to go all the way.
They've got the ability to do that, especially if they hit the ball like they're hitting it lately.
That's fouled away, and the count goes full. Melky on deck. And of course, all this has been done without Michael Brantley.
And when you lose your best, and he was their best, it's big shoes to fill for whoever.
Yeah, you know, it's like Detroit losing Cabrera from their club. So yeah, when you lose your best and you still have pretty good hold on first place, that'll tell you something about the character of the ball club.
Apparently hit .310 last year. He had 15 home runs, drove in 84, stole 15 bases, played a very good outfield, and was one of the very quiet team leaders. So you lose those kind of numbers from your outfield, you got to be scratching around to get those numbers.
There he goes, and that's fouled away, and that'll be out of play. Yeah, well, those numbers are a little misleading as well for Brantley, because it's not what he hit, it's when he hit it. Best clutch hitter on this team and one of the best in the American League.
He came over from Milwaukee, kept getting better and better, and had surgery. They thought he would be ready by spring training. Didn't work out that way. He came back once for 11 games, made a couple of different rehab stints, and just couldn't get it to feel any better.
And there is back-to-back walks. So we got something going here in the first inning. And fans, now you can vote for your pick to click. Before each game, visit whitesox.com/pick-to-click and decide who you think will be the next White Sox position player of the game. There you see the fans going with Adam, the crew's going with Morneau, Steve's going with Tim Anderson, Terry Hanley, Mike Williams, Roger Clare, Eric Aldrich, and now we're going to go with Tyler Saladino. Here's Melky. You said it.
Yeah, worry about the control.
Yeah, you said it half hour before the game started.
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't let him have one rehab start, because coming back, and yeah, you're right, they've got a 6-game lead, but it's still a pennant race. Coming back,
Yeah, it is.
when going on the DL into a pennant race, number one, the pitches are going to pile up. He won't go all that deep into the game. But number two, you worry about getting behind early.
And that's popped up short left field. So Geyer, and that's out number 1. Well, it's not like they didn't have anybody to run out there.
No, Clevenger's been really good. In fact, this was the spot that Clevenger was supposed to pitch in. They decided to move him into the bullpen for the time being and let Salazar assume that spot. So it could be that he had a little jitters the first 2 hitters. Maybe he gets out of it. But he's still most probably going to use a whole lot of pitches to get through this first inning.
Danny's 26 years old, 6 feet tall, 195 pounds, out of the Dominican Republic. And as I mentioned, one of the great releases on his fastball in the game. Abreu hitting at 280, 14 homers, 65 driven in, 1 for 7 in the series. And he's had good luck against Salazar. 16 at bats, 6 hits, 3 of which stayed in the park.
That's what he's done for his career. He started 80 games, 33 and 25 with an ERA a little above 3.5. He'll be ready for the race later in the game. That's Ketchup. Bad injury to Mustard last night. Curtailed Mustard's winning streak.
Zone him in, reel him in, and light him up right here, Jose.
Try to straight change and then try to slider, miss with both.
Two-one pitch, and it is 3-1. Morneau on deck. Outfield spread out, small gap out there in left center. And that will load him up. So 3 walks. And here comes Morneau. Now Kipnis going to come over, offering a pearl of wisdom.
As is Mickey Callaway, who's coming out from the dugout.
Well, just watching him here in the first inning, to me, he's not anywhere near as fluid as I remember Danny when he's pitched against us.
Yeah, he appears to be forcing everything tonight. Yeah, and that's, you know, that's probably in an effort to get his velocity back to where he thinks it should be, instead of letting it. He's got a great motion. He's got a good pitcher's body, but I think he's trying to force it into the strike zone. And when a pitcher really is at his best, he's not thinking about throwing strikes. He's thinking about throwing right at the catcher's glove, relaxing, putting it right there. And right now, because he is coming off the disabled list, he is very shaky here in the first inning. Good time to get a substantial lead.
Morneau, 3 for 8 in the series with a homer. He homered in game 1. That was our only tally. We got beat 3-1 by Corey Kluber. Nice pick by Perez.
That was a great stop. I'm not sure how he caught it. That one could have easily have gone to the screen, and that would have been a run right into the ground. And he's able on one hop to catch it. It's one of those where you put the glove down. If it sticks, you make a great play. Otherwise, it's a wild pitch and a run. Salazar has 6 wild pitches this year. He's got 3 balks. Brewer with the bases loaded. Unbelievably good for Justin Morneau.
That ball hit hard into left field. Dyer now cannot make the play, and it bounces well away from him. So that's going to clear the bases. The 3-run double by Justin Morneau, and it is 3-0. Good guys.
Gives Justin 14 runs batted in. And this ball was slicing away from Geyer. Geyer thought he had a shot at it. Justin stays right with it. He's always had big power, and as that ball slices away, hits off the wall and bounds away. Rajai Davis was the only guy to be able to get to it. Jose scoring all the way from first, and a big early lead, compliments of the 3 walks.
So here is Frazier, tied. 2 for 8 with 2 RBIs in the series. Comes in hitting at .210, but he has 31 homers and 74 driven in. He is 1 for 7 lifetime off Salazar, and that one hit was a home run. Don't help him out.
The Indians bullpen is up and going. Kyle Crockett, who we saw last night, but we only saw him for a third of an inning, is getting loosened up.
Well, that's the double jeopardy about starting Salazar without having a rehab start.
Yep. It is. You can go through a whole lot of your bullpen, and you've got Toronto coming to town.
Goes to that one. And the count 2-1.
We will depart, and Toronto will come in over the weekend. And Toronto can hit the baseball. Now the question is, will Donaldson be healthy enough to play?
That ball into right field. Morneau is tagging. And here he goes. And here's the throw. He's safe. Good throw by Almonte.
Almonte made a good throw with what he did, but watch. He catches the ball way off to the left side of his body. If he puts himself, because he had some time to position himself, if he puts himself so that he's catching that ball either in the middle or to the right side of his body, he's going to throw him out.
You know, I have never seen an outfielder who couldn't make that adjustment. I've never seen. They all can make it, but he didn't.
That's right. And Ichiro was one of the guys that did it perfectly.
Ichiro did everything perfectly out there defensively.
It was magnificent.
You know, people have asked me about that many times. Who's the best right fielder you've ever seen? I'll tell you what, I've never seen anybody better than Ichiro.
Well, fundamentally, he was an instructional video. You could take a look at everything he did, and it was exactly the way it should be done.
Yeah. Yeah, there were some great outfielders. You're talking about Clemente, you're talking about Kaline, you're talking about Maris was a great outfielder. People did not understand it only because of all the home runs he hit, but Roger Maris was a terrific right fielder. Dwight Evans of the Boston Red Sox, one of the best right fielders to ever play the game, but nobody was better than Ichiro. Tim can't get it.
Clevenger now throwing in the bullpen, and he was the man who was supposed to start this game before they reinserted Salazar. That's Mike Clevenger, who came over from the Angels, 4th-round draft pick in 2011. And very early in his career, while he was still in A-ball, he got traded here to the Indians.
Nice, another nice pick by Roberto Perez. No, Ichiro did everything textbook. It's almost like he invented the textbook.
.30 pitches so far.
And of course, all those great right fielders that I just mentioned had no chance against Ichiro in a race.
No, he was blinding fast.
Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's full. Jimmy last night with a tremendous home run. 2-run shot. in the third inning. Hit the very top of the foul pole. And that is a blast. And if you miss that home run, Mike Leary says, here it is.
That would have been a tough call if it didn't hit the pole, because if it goes above the pole, really difficult for the umpire to see it or judge it.
Got him on a very bad pitch right there, but the big bases loaded clearing double by Justin Morneau is 3-0 Sox.
Let's take a look at how Terry Francona is going to line him up, with Rajai Davis leading off, then Jason Kipnis, Francisco Lindor, who's had just a great year, 143 hits, that's 5th in the league, Mike Napoli, Carlos Santana, then it's Ramirez, Skyer, Almonte, and Perez rounding it out. The Honda City defense, and how they'll line up behind Carlos Rodon, Cabrera, Shuck, and Eaton, along with Frazier, Anderson, Saladino, and Abreu. Omar Narvaez gets a nod behind the plate. Alexis pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Carlos Rodon, on for his 20th start, looking for his 4th win.
First pitch strike to Rajai Davis, 35-year-old veteran who is a guy who always plays well against us. 0-2. He comes in hitting at .264, 11 homers, 40 driven in, but he has 33 stolen bases in 37 attempts. 17 doubles, 2 triples. And he is 4 for 6 lifetime off Carlos. Indians hitting at .266 as a ball club with a 3.84 team ERA. Indians 36-22 here at home.
Looks like that time he kind of fell off the mound or either caught his spike. You know, a left-hander goes to the mound after a right-hander, and there's a different spot that your front foot hits.
What new?
When you know you can hit a guy and that guy knows that you can hit him, it just seems like you get to the point where you throw one down the middle and he doesn't miss it.
Rajai has that sense of control over Carlos Rodon.
He just knows. He knows that somewhere along the line he'll get that one pitch.
That's 4 words that make you a good hitter or not. A sense of control. Somebody's going to have it. That pitcher's going to have it, or you're going to have it. But somebody's going to have that sense of control. Kipnis, 3 for 17 lifetime off Carlos.
Jason had a sacrifice fly last night. Was not a good offensive night for him. But it certainly was the opener of this series. 3 hits, but a big base hit in the 7th inning. Scored an insurance run. Plated an insurance run.
Off the glove, and everybody's going to be safe. So back-to-back hits. They're going to give him an error on that. This guy who's the scorekeeper here loves to give the errors out.
Moves to his right. And ball stayed on the grass, so.
Yeah, you could guys.
Yeah. I mean, if it went
from a pitcher standpoint, it's an error. From a hitter standpoint, it's a hit.
If it went from the grass to the dirt, I could see it. But in any event, regardless of what the scoring is, you got runners at first and second and nobody out.
And here is Lindor. Hitting at .312, 14 homers, 62 driven in. That ball hit high and deep into center field. Doug was back there on the track. So Rajai Davis is going to tag and move into third.
That was almost a real bad base running play by Rajai Davis. He had makeup speed, because he really went down the line a long way. Lindor hits the daylights out of this, taking it all the way back. J.B. Shuck lining it up on the track, makes the catch. And here's Davis. Dancing around a bit before getting back and then taking off.
Well, the biggest reason that was not a good base running play there is the fact that if he does not make the catch, if he's tagging up, he can score anyway.
Yeah, because he's going to go over his head, bounce off the wall, one hop, and you're not going to get Rajai Davis on that.
No. So here's Napoli. 1 out, runners at the corners. Napoli 1 for 7 in the series with an RBI. Yeah, that ball was crushed by Lindor. Todd Frazier crushed one out there last night that I certainly thought was gone. Everybody did. He did. Everybody thought
there's no doubt he thought it was gone. Somehow it got in that area and just died. Not much dies to right field in this ballpark, however.
No.
He's still having some problems on that mound, and you know, you got to dig out that front part and make sure that your landing is not on the edge of where a right-handed pitcher had landed before you. You can see the clay in that situation. You can see how it's dug up, and twice already he's landed wrong on that front foot.
Two and 0. Chops that one foul. And here at Progressive Field, 325 down the lines, 375 in right center, 370 in left center, and 400 straight away center. So a lot of action here in the first inning. If you're just tuning in, Salazar walked 3 guys, and they all scored on the double by Justin Morneau. That evens the count at 2.
Ellis has thrown 4 pitches and not a 1 in the strike zone, and it is 2-2.
Van Ness out of play.
Omar called for a sinker, and Carlos, who was maybe overly strong this first inning, threw a high fastball. So that's 5 straight pitches out of the zone. Narvaez made the right call. The sinker's good call in this situation. You get the ground ball. Napoli's grounded into 11 double plays. Would probably be the 12th.
It's full.
Carlos Santana in the on-deck circle. He's had a big year, but he'll hit from the right side. Almost all of his power comes from the left side.
Payoff. He gone. Doubled him up. And that'll retire the side. So that's a hang with him for Mike Napoli.
Later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. And now we'll take a look at our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it ends the bottom of the first inning. 3-2 slider, line drive. Frazier dives back ahead of Davis, and it's a double play and out of the inning. Bad base running by Rajai Davis. And that's going to be it for Salazar. He's going to depart the game in favor of Kyle Crockett. So apparently that elbow wasn't feeling all that good. Certainly Mickey Callaway and Terry Francona didn't like what they saw in that first inning, so Crockett comes on with an ERA up over 6. This is 24th appearance, and there you look at the rest of the numbers. He hasn't been used a great deal. 13 and a third innings in the major leagues.
It'll be Shuck, Narvaez, and then back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton.
He's back in the big leagues. He's been in the minor leagues a few times. Was recalled on April 27th, then recalled once again on July 18th.
First pitch strike. Chuck hitting at 220.
unlike Salazar, you can't look for the big fastball because it's not there. He might touch 90, maybe, but he depends on a curveball, and Salazar has gone out to the bullpen. Terry Francona.
Well, that's good to see.
Yeah, he decided that, look, rather than put him on the mound and let him force everything with no control, get him out of the ball game, warm up the guy that was supposed to pitch tonight, Clevenger, and let Crockett see if he can get you through an inning or so.
1 out. Yeah, that's a good move. The only thing you don't want to see is him have to leave because of a bad elbow.
Yeah, especially for him, in that he's one of the guys that you're going to look to. If he's entirely healthy, you're going to look to him to be one of your playoff pitchers if they can make it, which has not been decided yet.
No, it has not. And one thing about it, this is the one team that you really don't want to play in a tough series, a short series. Not with those pitchers they can put out there. Narvaez has been impressive. Way off the plate call to strike.
Well, if he keeps getting that one,
man,
he's going to be really tough to hit.
That's just bad. I mean, that's all it is. That's just bad. 0-2 the count.
Well, that one went rifled into the seats, and hopefully everybody is okay. I don't think you want to hit Corey Kluber. That's probably not a good plan right now.
One out, 1-2 the count. 3-0 Sox here in the top of the second inning. And we only have one hit. You're just joining us. Salazar walked Eaton and Saladino to lead off. Top of the first. Rivera popped up to left. Then he walked to Abreu. Then a big double off the left field wall by Justin Morneau. Knocked down. He's got time.
Well, that's a very good play by Kyle Crockett, who kept his composure, realizing that there was a catcher who hit the ball, so he's got some time. Right back at him, right to the glove side, which is good for him after slipping off the mound. Makes the underhand toss and gets it there ahead of Omar.
I tell you, Omar has really been impressive.
He's hit the ball hard.
Man. Really impressive. Both ways.
Yep.
Lumber and leather. So that'll retire this out of 1-2-3 inning, and after an inning and a half, still 3-0 Sox.
for superior performance all season long. Goodyear, more driven. Beautiful downtown Cleveland. You see the arena, lower left of your screen.
Well, you grew up here, and I'm one of the few guys that really like playing here. A lot of guys don't like playing here.
It was a great city to grow up in, although we didn't have the basketball team that just won it all this year.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell you, that was exciting.
It was really
Being
exciting.
down 3-1.
Yeah.
Wow.
That would
That
look
one
like,
got Adrian.
yeah.
Well, one of the big reasons, let me frame that in a different perspective. One of the big reasons that a lot of guys didn't like playing Cleveland back in my time zone was the old ballpark. That was, I mean, it was brutal. Now this ballpark has changed the whole atmosphere.
And downtown is coming alive. They've got 98% occupancy rate in all of their buildings down here that are for rent. And so because of that now, people have started to move downtown, making their homes downtown, moving back, young people especially from the suburbs, and older people who want to downsize are moving back to downtown Cleveland. And you know, they got
They didn't have the flats when I was here.
no, and now the flats, not too much really. But there's a lot of other places that are growing up, and the Republican convention certainly helped them, along with LeBron winning it all. And Cleveland's on a roll.
Here's Ramirez. He's been on a roll all year. Picking up where he left off last season. 23-year-old. Hitting at .310, 8 homers, 51 knocked in. Richie Scheinblum had the quote back in those days, former Indian outfielder, said the best thing about playing in Cleveland was you didn't have to make any road trips there.
That was one of them.
Richie, he was a character. Richie, we used to play cards. Guys back in those days played a lot of cards. Yeah, and usually kept a tab, and then at the end of the season, you know, you'd settle up. So we settled. We finished up the season in New York. All right, take your time, boys. Back. So the second double play turns by our guys. 2 down.
This is a tough play because it took a bad hop on Todd Frazier. He's able to stay with it. See him here as he comes up with it, keeps the glove down, comes up with the hop, and then quickly to first base to double Ramirez.
Well, we have not seen any defense third since Joe Creedy. As good as Todd's. But Richie, the last day of the season, comes in walking into the clubhouse. He's got a handful of bills in his left hand. Richie, being the businessman that he is, says, okay, fellas, I'm going to settle 10 cents on the dollar.
I only have so much money, so we're going to have to make a deal.
That's it. We all started laughing. Richie had a bad year with the cards. One and two the count. Brandon Guyer 4 for 8 in this series with a couple of RBIs.
Well, he was the man they got when they couldn't get Jonathan Lucroy. And every day they look up and Lucroy keeps getting it done for Texas, which is where he eventually went. He's played 15 games for the Rangers. He's hit 7 home runs and driven in 14. So you don't get much better than that. Going to a new ball club and establishing the fact that you can get it done. They were very disappointed he didn't come here, and they had a great deal made for him. It was all done. And Chris Antonetti went to bed, and they felt they had it all done, only to get up the next day, which was August 1st, and found out that it wasn't done.
That's very similar to Torrey Hunter with Kenny Williams. Kenny thought he had a deal done. As he gone. And it is still 3-0 White Sox.
Insider all season long on CSNChicago.com. It's presented by The Great Escape. Whether it's pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, or more, escape your everyday. Shop The Great Escape. And we got a new pitcher coming in the ball game. The guy who was supposed to start this game originally, Mike Clevenger, won his last time out. 1-1 ERA, 5.81. He's walked a whole lot of guys in 26 and a third innings. Last time he was pretty good against the team that traded him away. And that team was the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
First man he will face will be our second baseman tonight, Tyler Saladino, and we may have received some bad news on our regular second baseman.
Yeah, unfortunately, a setback in the rehab. You know, you're always hoping that, I mean, you hear a guy going out to rehab and you hear that things are going real well for him. You hear that a lot. Right on schedule. He's right on schedule with his rehab, and unfortunately, that is not the case. And so it's going to be a while. Tyler Saladino probably going to get a whole lot of play. And Brett Lawrie, who everybody was hoping would come back because when he left, he was swinging it well. 12 home runs, 36 driven in. But he had a setback with that hamstring problem, and we'll see how it works out. Right now, it's just not looking good.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. We miss Brett Lawrie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Miss the energy as a club.
Immensely, we miss Brett Lawrie. Even if he's not swinging it good, we miss it. That energy that he brings is just, you don't see that. You don't see that very often at all. But the one thing is understandable that he has a quad problem, or he has a tightness in certain areas. He's got no body fat.
No.
I mean, that guy has zero body fat. Here is Melky. I would have to bet money that nobody in the American League has less body fat than Brett Lawrie. Clevenger, who went to the Citadel, Charleston, South Carolina. And transferred to Seminole Community College after his freshman year.
Fourth-round pick by the Angels. Was back in 2011. It's only 25. The interesting thing about him, the Angels wanted Vinny Pastana, who had one really good year with the Indians and then kind of fell off. And Clevenger was an A-ball. And he'd had Tommy John surgery, which kind of pushed him back a bit in his development. And so when the Angels came for Vinny Pastana, they had done a pretty good scouting job on Clevenger, and a few of their scouts said, hey, look, if we get a chance at this guy in a deal with the Angels, who knows when it's going to come up, that's a guy that you should talk about. And they got him. Last year, very good year for him. He was in Akron. He was 9-8, but an ERA of 2.73. Started 26 games. Gave up many less hits per innings pitched and struck out 145 while walking 40.
He's got a nice presence on the mound.
Seems like he throws it well. If you can get those guys with the Tommy John really early, usually they come back in at least 7, 8, 9 years maybe before they have any more elbow problems. Just worry about shoulder problems. But he's a big kid. He's 6'4", 210.
Watch out. Bray walked and scored back in the first inning. If you're just tuning in, we scored all 3 runs with just 1 hit. Salazar walked 3. Load the bases, and Justin Morneau cleared him with that double off the left field wall.
Danny Salazar still trying to get a release point. That's one of the things we saw in this performance, is he was getting under a lot of pitches. So when you do that, everything stays high and usually away.
He just didn't have it. It was
Nope.
a nice fluid motion.
Epley's going to have to get the catcher's glove if Clevenger keeps going over there with that much on the throw. It's a quick move, and he pours it across.
Citadel. It's a fine, fine school. We used to play. I went to military school, and we used to play the Citadel. Freshman.
Citadel's a military school also, right?
Oh yeah. How's that back? I believe the commandant, we played him, was General Mark Clark. And then in football, we would scrimmage Paris Island and get our butts kicked by those Marines. I'm telling you, they'd beat us to death.
That probably wasn't a great plan.
Oh, I don't know why they schedule it every year. Spring training football. Ate him up inside, shoves it over our dugout.
Nice catch. Those are the kind you don't mind catching. Those that are way inside off the plate. You don't get much on it. Little looping fly ball. And a souvenir.
The 1-2. full count.
Justin Morneau, who's responsible for the lead in the on-deck circle.
There you go. Just got a piece of it.
Lucky better try to get a good lead if he's going to run, because Perez has a strong arm. We've seen that in this series. But Clevenger to this point is using a high leg kick, allowing the base runner at least a couple of extra steps.
There he goes. That ball hit high into left field. Guy going back now on the track, right in front of the fence. Makes the catch. That's a just missed him.
Justin Morneau sliced this one away from Geyer in left field, and it played at 3. And with the first White Sox run, Eclick Lending has donated $100 to the Pat Tillman Foundation, supporting military veterans and their families.
Justin was his 8th two-bagger since putting on that Sox uniform. One more time. Zone him in, reel him in, and light him up. That's off the plate. They called a strike. And the count 0-2. Outfield for the most part straight up, spread out, spaced about equidistant, maybe a small gap out there in left center.
We figured if he's going to give him the first 2, maybe he'll give him the third, because there's 3 pitches thrown, all of them approximately the same spot, and it's a 1-2 count.
That's not good.
There you see it, Toyota Pitch Tracks.
Two and two. There you go. Here you go. And we will go to the bottom of the third, leading 3-0. against the Oakland A's of Bob Melvin. Coverage begins at 6:30. White Sox pregame live, presented by the Koalas family of dealerships on CSN Plus.
There you see the First Energy Football Stadium, the home of the Cleveland Browns, who, by the way, we're staying at our hotel. They're playing the Atlanta Falcons in an exhibition game tonight. Also going to be a concert down here, so we're very crowded downtown.
Yeah, you're right. Cleveland's on a roll.
They are.
Here's Abraham Almonte. I'll tell you that. I knew, obviously, that. In fact, we heard about LeBron James before he graduated from high school, and knew he was a great player. But, you know, just another great player. That series finals this year,
yep.
I became a huge fan of his. And you know mainly why? Because he says the right things and he does the right things. He is a leader. He is a gentleman. And what a player.
And he came back to Cleveland. Now he's going to be here for a while. They signed him to a 3-year contract.
He gone.
Look, it's going to be a wide plate for both guys tonight, whether it's getaway night or whatever the case may be. Adrian Johnson has a wide plate, both sides of the plate. So the boys better be swinging, because these pitches look to be a touch off the plate, and he's going to call them for both sides.
If he does for both sides, that's fine. Here's Perez, 1 for 6 in the series. Yeah, I mentioned General Mark Clark was the commandant at the Citadel from 1954 to 65. He was from Highland Park. Very, very decorated. It's a great general. As Timmy slips and throws and gets it.
You get a slip if a catcher's running, and that time he stayed right with it and was able to gun him down by a step. His outfield here has been treacherous for everyone. They took a lot of rain before we got here, and we've seen outfielders from both teams, from all positions, slipping on the grass. Tim stayed right with it and gunned him down.
Here's Rajay, single sharply into right field, leading off the bottom of the first. Yeah, as long as for both sides, there's no problem.
It
doesn't make any
appears,
difference where the strike zone is, as long as it's for both sides.
it appears that that's what's going to happen.
They're the only guys that can speed up a baseball. They can bring in all these other rules, regulations, and everything else. But until they have control of the umpires, look at this. Right at him, yes. And that'll retire the side. But the umpires are the only guys that can speed it up.
Thursday, August 25th. When you purchase tickets using the Zubaz code, you receive a specially priced game ticket and a voucher for your White Sox Zubaz pants. To purchase this specially priced ticket package, visit whitesox.com/Zubaz.
So here is Frazier. Todd went out to right field.
What do you think of the chances of a closer winning the MVP? And I'm talking about Zach Britton of Baltimore.
Listen, I am all for it. If it, you had Hernandez, you had pitcher. We've had several pitchers win the MVP.
Yeah, Steve Bedrosian, I think one of them.
Well,
Cy Young Award, rather.
Yeah, Denny McClain won the MVP. Cy Young did the MVP. He won 31 games in 1968. Those circumstances, yeah, I'm all for it. Now, normally I want a hitter to win or a position player to win MVP and a pitcher to win.
Yeah, that's what I feel. But I mean, it's very difficult for a closer to win the Cy Young Award unless you have a bunch of pitchers together, nobody really stands out, and then you have a guy having the kind of year that Britton's having where nobody at all hits him.
Well, you just framed it perfectly. That's circumstances.
Yeah.
You put them in the right circumstances, like Ernie Banks. When Ernie won the MVP with the last place ball club as that's into the corner. A nice play right there by Almonte. He had a long way to go for that.
We'll take a look from the blimp. And there comes Abraham, and he did run a long way. That ball slicing away from him toward the line. Makes a catch.
Yeah, I don't think any of those awards in that respect, obviously a position player can't win the Cy Young, but I think that the Cy Young Award winner under certain circumstances can also be the MVP. And Britton, I mean, what he's doing is just phenomenal.
Yeah. You talk about a guy with a .54 ERA. I don't believe he's blown a save yet.
As Tim now 0 for 2. Well, if the Orioles were to go ahead and go to the postseason, win it, go to the World Series, whether they win it or not, yeah, I would say Britton has got a definite chance of being MVP.
Baltimore has fallen to third, but one loss behind Toronto and Boston. Toronto in first place. Boston a game back. Red Sox have won 6 straight games.
They've been hitting the ball.
Mookie Betts is out of his mind hitting.
Well, everything's contagious. You got Bradley starting to back him up, so to speak. And of course, you got Big Poppy. Baltimore leading Houston 5-2, bottom of the 4th at Camden Yards. Detroit beat Boston 4-3. As Shuck is thrown out by Ramirez. Nice 1-2-3 inning with a good catch by Abraham Almonte.
And against all odds, with Clayton Kershaw out, the Dodgers have taken a 1.5 lead in the West. Over the last 9 games, they're hitting everything in sight. They've averaged almost 7 runs a game. They've hit 19 home runs, 26 doubles. On base percentage as a team of .367, slugging percentage .572. 6-3 record over the 9 games. San Francisco 3-7, losers of 4 games in a row, and they have now fallen the 1.5 back. That's really surprising with their number 1 pitcher, one of the best in baseball, Kershaw, still out.
And look at the injuries the Dodgers have had.
It's astonishing that they've been able to stay afloat.
It is.
Just astonishing.
Yeah. Here's Kipnis. You know, sometimes, not often, but sometimes injuries like that can galvanize a club and bring them together where they get that TW going, and they just absolutely don't stop. As there they base it into right field.
But we both really liked and have, since we saw him, Kyle Seager of Seattle. And Seattle's doing a great job, by the way. They're making it a race. But his brother, Corey Seager, is probably going to be better. Corey Seager has come up and pretty much set the league on fire. Another young shortstop coming into baseball, and oh, he is really something.
Here's Lindor. He just killed one back in the first inning, deep out there into the deep part of left center field. Caught by Shuck. Yeah, it's funny how certain circumstances will dictate what happens. A lot of clubs, most clubs, when they have a lot of injuries like that, they'll fold. All right, boys, take your time. Rack them up. Third double play turn by our guys.
Now they're coming across both double plays, getting good feeds from Anderson and then making good solid throws.
Dave Roberts.
Taking a look at your manager of the year.
I tell you what, man, what a terrific person. Here's Mike Napoli. Takes first pitch strike. They have no runs on 3 hits. We have three runs on 1 hit. And the count 0-2. Out and around that one. I got some text today. We were talking about the last couple of nights how you could slice and dice as a hitter pitchers by just looking at their stats, and they were talking about, asking me, how could you do that? And we touched on it, because that's outside. We mentioned Kluber when he started. If you're one of our hitters, Kluber worked 157 innings, giving up 122 hits, 156 strikeouts, 36 walks, and he only hit 3 guys all year. So
Carrasco,
what that does,
even more radical if you look at Carrasco's numbers.
Yeah, he hit 1 guy all year. So what that'll do for a hitter is it gives you an approach. You got to say to yourself, well, he's not going to pitch inside. Now, are hitters worried about getting hit by the pitch? No, not too much. So that's not an issue. The issue is it gives you an idea. It gives you an approach to whereas you just don't go up there looking for the ball. It'll cut down the plate for you to whereas you can use against Kluber, against Carrasco, and against Salazar. You can look for the middle out, and that's where you go for those guys. They're going to try to beat you from the middle out if you're a right-handed hitter. And again, what it does, it's not a definite thing. It's not a formula, so to speak. It's just an idea that you're sitting there hey, I got to beat this guy from the middle out. I got to go to right field with him if you're a strong right-handed hitter. I got to beat him on his fastball away. Is he gone?
Good straight change, the best he's thrown tonight. Communications in Eldridge, Iowa.
Wow, look at that.
There's a gorgeous picture. Boy, that sunset's quick here in Cleveland. Whew, it goes down in a hurry.
It's the top of the fifth inning. Omar Narvaez hit a hard comebacker to the pitcher his first trip. We still have only one hit in this game, but we lead at 3-0. It was a bases clearing double by Justin Morneau in the first inning. After Salazar had walked Eaton, Saladino, and Abreu. One out.
A lot of people talking about Adam Eaton and his bubble gum on the grand slam, because before he hit the ball, actually he was blowing a bubble. Now, it didn't obscure his vision any because it's first grand slam of his career. Worked out pretty well. I think I was so flustered about my swing before that I was just trying to make some contact, not look really stupid, and apparently I blew a bubble. I'm all right with that. I don't blame you, Adam. Sometimes you do things you're not thinking about, and mine must be blowing a bubble, so we'll take it.
Well, I talked to him after the game last night, and I said, Adam, I said, that first swing, I said, you wouldn't know anything about it, but it reminded me of Bernie Carbo in the 1975 World Series against Cincinnati when he had a swing like that, and then 2 pitches later hit a 3-run homer to win the ball game. He said, well, you know, he said, that first swing, he said, and now this is good thinking. He said, after I made the swing on that first curveball like that, he said, in my mind, it just popped in my mind, he's going to throw me that pitch again. And he did. But he didn't get it where he wanted to, as that ball hit hard.
Not in the seats. That's where he threw it. Well, it was an 0-2 pitch, and you know, the first pitch fastball. Then he said, look, I know he throws hard, so I'm looking fastball first 2 pitches. I didn't get the fastball the second pitch. That's what led to that ridiculous swing I took. But I know, looking that bad, he's probably going to go there again.
That's what he said.
And
he said, I knew he was going to throw me that pitch again. And that's just good thinking. That's how you hit major league pitching. Not looking for the ball, but having an idea, looking for a pitch.
Yeah, look, he's in a situation there where if Allen throws him a fastball away, maybe he makes contact because he's not looking for it. But he didn't. He guessed right and got the pitch. And when he got the pitch, he knew just what to do with it. First grand slam of his career. How about that?
Yeah, I mean that's just good thinking. When you step out of that box, or you're in the box, and all of a sudden you make a swing like that, and it pops in your mind, he's going to throw me that pitch again. That gives you that sense of control.
Adams been swinging it very well, playing an excellent defense. And the thing is, when you're not swinging it well, you might get that same pitch with that same thought process and you foul it off.
Sure. Grind it out.
Yeah.
Hit a little dribble down at first base. That's hit hard but foul. Yeah, just because you're looking for a pitch and you get it exactly where you're looking does not mean that you're going to do anything with it. It means you got a better chance to do something with it. That's a full count with 2 out.
You're getting a pretty good feeling here why they like Clevenger as much as they do.
Well, he's got a nice presence out there. He's got a good mound presence. And a lot of pitchers don't realize how important that is because the hitter notices it. That is a 1-2-3 inning, and we're halfway home, leading 3-0. Yes, indeed, we do miss Brett Lawrie. No question about it. As here is Santana. Santana, 1-for-1, a single, leading off the second inning. Sox, if you're just joining us, have turned 3 double plays in this game. 1 in the first, second, and fourth. That pitch at 94. Two and 0. That's a fair ball, ripped down into the corner. So Santana will pick up his 21st two-bagger.
Santana absolutely crushed this one.
He's 6 for 13 now against Carlos.
He rifles the ball into the corner, and Melky has to wait for it to come on out.
So here's Ramirez.
Might have been the ball screaming.
Ramirez got a job to do even in a 3-0 ball game here in the bottom of the 5th. He's 23 years old and what a player. Some of the people. I was talking with some of the Cleveland people before the game, and they said he is the MVP on this ball club so far this year.
Just a magnificent job from both sides of the plate. He's hitting over 300 from both sides of the plate and playing wherever Terry Francona needs him.
There's a strike. Well, he, as we talked about in the opener, he and Lindor carried this ball club offensively the first couple of months.
Well, if you're a shortstop, and Ramirez is by trade, you know you're not getting any play at shortstop on this team with Lindor at short. So they asked Ramirez, because they were short in the outfield with Brantley hurt, they said learn left field. So he did that, and he did a pretty good job out there. He's got a strong arm. He's a middle infielder by trade. And they said, okay, well, now we got Brandon Guyer, so we're going to move you back in the infield, but not at shortstop, of course. So we'll put you at third, where he's done a good job. Made a couple of nice plays this series.
That's a good try right there by Carlos. Ramirez did not bite, and the count 2-2. Back up the middle and in the center field. It's the 3-1 ball game.
Even if this ball doesn't get through, he gets the job done because he hits the ball up the middle in back of Santana, who was going to third base, as it turned out, scored easily. It's 52 driven in for Jose Ramirez.
And here's Guyer. Struck out, called out his first trip. Ramirez 20 stolen bases and 26 attempts, as Guyer can't get it. Indians have 102 stolen bases and 125 attempts.
Yeah, not only a whole lot of steals, but a very good team-wide base running percentage. That puts so much pressure on the pitcher. He's standing out there. You want 100% of your attention on the hitter. I mean, that's what pitchers are taught, but yet you can't, because you got a guy at first base or second base who you know has a tendency to steal. So it divides your concentration if you're not right on top of your game.
Take your time, boys. Rack them up. Fourth double play turned. 2 down. Well, also it's magnified even more in today's game because of the fact what you just described is right on the money, even magnified more by young pitchers.
Yeah, young pitchers and defenses that maybe aren't quite as good as a team would like. And so when you put the pressure on the defense, you figure eventually maybe they're trying to throw you out at second base, they throw the ball through, goes into center field, now you're on third. Now a sacrifice fly scores you, and because you were aggressive, it pays off.
Well, that's why young pitchers have the best offensive player I've ever seen in my career was Ricky Henderson. He just tore young pitchers apart mentally.
Well,
He's the one guy you couldn't walk, and he's the one guy that walked all the time.
We've talked about this once, but explain it again, because Ricky Henderson had this severe crouch, which lowered his strike zone so that when you threw him a strike, you were throwing it into his sweet spot, which was low.
That's right.
Why don't guys today? I mean, Tim Anderson has a crouch, not an exaggerated crouch, but he hits out of a crouch and shows power from that crouch. Why don't more hitters lower their strike zone by getting in a crouch today? There's more stand-up hitters than I've ever seen before.
Dave, as he gone.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah, they do pick up a run. We'll go to the 6th with a 3-1 lead.
Bases with tires for superior performance all season long. Goodyear, more driven.
It'll be Cabrera, Abreu, and Morneau. We lead it 3-1, but if you're just tuning in, we only have one hit in this ball game. Danny Salazar walked 3 in the first inning and then loaded the bases for Justin Morneau, who unloaded them with a double off the left field wall.
Then Crockett for an inning and Clevenger for 2 for 3 innings, and he's been brilliant.
Well, this is one of those games that you just cannot sit on a lead. Not against this club.
Nope.
This club will come back and get you. But you know, you were talking last inning about why don't more guys go into a crouch. Steve, I'm going to be vulgar here. Okay. When I tell you, most hitters don't have a clue. They really don't. They're, and I speak from experience. My first 5 years in the American League, I did not have a clue. And why you don't try something different? Because you're a 7.5 to 1 favorite to fail anyway. And then when you go below that and you go up to 8 to 1 favorite to fail, why don't you try something different? You as a pitcher, you don't like to face right-handed hitters, strong right-handers who stand on top of the plate, and you don't like to face guys in a deep crouch where you're throwing everything into their wheelhouse.
Well, guys who did go into severe crouches, who lowered their strike zone, especially when you're a low ball hitter, if you can do that, make it very difficult to pitch to.
Sure. I think one thing that hitters don't think about today is Melky now 0 for 2, and I really believe this, and I've talked to a lot of them, and you talk to some of them and they look at you funny like, what the hell are you talking about? They don't understand what their job to do when they go on that plate is to upset that pitcher. That's their job. That's the way we were taught coming up, to upset the pitcher, get him out of his rhythm, do what you had to do to step out of the box if he's working fast, stand on top of the plate, make him do some thinking out there, not to where he can just go ahead and, like you, freewheel your curveball. Because if you can freewheel curveball, you're going to win probably.
I think that's pretty much the object of both, whether it's pitcher. I mean, it's a great confrontation, pitcher and hitter. It's the essence of this game. And
there's a chopper 2 hopper. Look at this play. He's off the bag, so it'll be a base hit. Good effort by Lindor. That's our second hit. First off Clevenger.
Lindor felt he should have made the play. It would have been a great play if he made it. Especially the blind throw, the 360 spin up the middle. I think he might have had a little more time with Jose running.
He
but
did.
You know, he just rushed it. Throw was off the mark. Napoli doesn't have that long a leg. And it turns into a base hit. But my job as a pitcher was to get you off balance, to get you to hit the ball from the hands to the label, or from your name, which was the end of the bat, to the end of the bat. If you hit the ball between the label and your name, then I have to change, because you've beaten me at that at bat. Even if you made an out, even if you hit a one hopper to the shortstop, you've hit the ball on the sweet spot. I have to be observant enough to be able to see where you hit the ball. And if you beat me in that at bat, even if you made an out, I got to come up and show you something different next time. Or maybe it's not going to be an out this time. Maybe it's going to be out of the ballpark. And that's my job. Keep you off balance. Do something to change. And your job is to get me out of my comfort zone.
My job is to piss you off, is what it is.
Yeah, or
that's what it is.
Do whatever you need.
Exactly right. And that's what we were taught. Make the pitcher, upset him. Do anything you got to do. Move around in that box, whatever you got to do.
Well, change. I mean, if you step out on me, if I'm ready to pitch, that usually doesn't make a pitcher particularly happy.
Exactly.
And then you go in and you take your time, then you're showing me, well, wait a second. And then I'm going to step. Well, usually pitchers then step back. Well, eventually you have to throw the ball. But you've changed me, because you're not letting me work at the pace I want to work at. And the same thing with if you move up or back in the box, or in or out closer or farther from the plate. You're going to change. I got a preconceived notion about how to get you out, and you've changed me.
2 down. Well, that's the whole thing. We were taught to upset the pitcher, get him out of his rhythm. And one of the greatest things that I got after my first 5 years, where I was just the biggest dummy in the league, was from Joe Cronin, who was the president of the American League at the time. And he called me into his office. His office was on Boylston Street, not too far from where I lived in Boston. And went down there, and he looked at me and he said, "Are you that dumb?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "The batter's box." He got from behind his desk, came around. He said, "That batter's box," and he stepped it off.
Yeah.
He said, "That batter's box is yours." He said, "You can go anywhere in that batter's box you want. You can stand on top of the plate. You can move off the plate. You can move in the back of the box. You can move in the front of the box." He said, "You stand in the same place in that plate, in that batter's box, against the right-hander who's throwing nothing up there, against the left-hander who's throwing 100 miles an hour."
Well, that's what we see today.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They don't have a clue.
Planted in the same spot all the time.
When you're going over your hitters, most of the time that you faced, okay, even when you won the Cy Young Award in 25 games, before you went to the mound to throw the first pitch, you knew about where everybody in that lineup was going to stand in the box.
Of course.
Sure you did.
And today you have visual proof, because you've got more video and you know what to do with. You can take a guy, if you faced him 45 times, you can take a video loop, and see the 45 at-bats against the guy and exactly what he did on every one of your pitches in every situation.
It's a mystery to me. I mean, you know, as I said, I used to talk to some of our hitters when they would come to me and ask me what I thought, but I don't do that anymore, because there's too much accountability on the hitting coach and everything else. So the last thing you want to do is put two thoughts into a hitter's mind. I might disagree with what Todd's saying to somebody, and all of a sudden I put another thought in the guy's, and now he's really screwed, so to speak, especially if it doesn't work right off the bat. So I don't even talk to the guys anymore. I've had guys come to me this year and ask me what I thought, and I said, you know, I got nothing for you.
Well, look, you've got two hitting coaches down there, and Greg Sparks.
Yep.
And Todd Steverson, and between them, they've got some good ideas, some ideas that will work. Look, even if it's a bad idea, if it works, it becomes a good idea. Depends on the idea.
A bad idea is better than no idea at all.
So it depends on what you suggest to somebody, and then what they will accept, because that's really the key today.
Well, I've heard Todd talk to some of our hitters, especially last year and the year before in spring training. They go out there in the backfields where they'd be taking batting practice in the backfields. And he's telling them what he thinks they should do. So they tried in BP, and they're killing the ball. And all of a sudden the game starts, and you watch where they're standing. Now they moved back to where their comfort zone is.
Yep.
It's amazing. It's the toughest uniform job in baseball as a hitting coach. Toughest one. Because you're dealing with a lot of guys, and most of them don't have a clue about what's going on. It says high pop up. And that'll retire the side. It's a 3-1 Sox lead going to the bottom of the sixth. An official White Sox MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. So go to wintrust.com/Sox to learn more. Member FDIC. Bottom of the sixth inning in the finale of this three-game set, and it is a rubber match. We lead it 3-1. We have 3 runs on 2 hits. They have 1 run on 5 hits. Here's Roberto Perez, the catcher. Grounded out to Tim Anderson, who made a good play on it. And that pitch is souvenir time, right side. How about that day that Chris Bryant had today?
Well, he's cementing his cause for the MVP.
5 for 5. Couple home runs, 5 RBIs.
And some back-to-back in the batting order. Bryant and Rizzo.
You better believe
2 and 3.
That's a good one.
Wow.
That's a good 1-2 punch there. Arrieta won that ball game today. Did not have as good control.
No walking 7 in that game. What's always been the case is your team is going to get to 9, you can give up 5.
So the leadoff single.
Saturday, August 27th, come and see the White Sox take on the Mariners at 6:10. All fans are invited to stay for a spectacular post-game fireworks show presented by Magellan Corporation. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
So here's a man that's hit Carlos hard. Rajai Davis is singled and then lined hard to right field. He is now 5 for 8 against him. Excellent, fouls it off, and some big White Sox shout-outs. Big Sox fans watching in Omaha. Joe, LJ, and Nikki Hyduke. Huge Sox fans. Outfield spread out slightly to the right, gap out there in left center. Rajai, mentioned 35-year-old veteran, certainly does not play like a 35-year-old.
No, they brought in a few guys, not big money free agents, but brought in Dan Otero, who's helped their bullpen. They brought in Mike Napoli, who's been a revelation for them. Brought in Robbie Grossman. These are all new guys brought to the ball club this year.
That ball in right at him in right field. So that's another hang Wolfham. Rajai. 1 out. His base hit was a solid single to right, and the last 2 times up he's lined the ball to right. So what did I tell you? He's had a great approach against the left-handed pitcher. Try to beat him arm side.
Well, he's hoping to get to that fastball before he has to see that put-away slider low and in. Because nobody's going to hit that when Carlos is throwing it well. They're just not going to hit it.
No, that's kneecap time. As here's Kipnis, 1 for 2. Ball hit well in the left center field. Chuck looks up.
I think he got stuck in the fence.
Yeah, it did. He holds up his glove immediately.
And they're going to give him a double. That probably is a break, because if that takes a crazy hop off the wall and that gets away.
Up to this point, there's a big break.
Yeah, Perez would have scored if that ball bounces and gets away, but it doesn't. Haven't seen that happen too often, but you see it happen there.
That's the first time we've seen it happen in this ball.
And you see a little space. There's a little space between the wall and that scoreboard.
27th double.
Kipnis hit that ball hard.
Kipnis a good play. Good play. And here comes Coop. So we've had 3 line drives this inning off Carlos.
Hey, Sox fans, you can win with Papa John's all season long the day after the Sox win. You get 50% off your entire online order of regular menu priced items only at papajohns.com. That's when you use the promo code SOXWIN. That's at participating Papa John's locations. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Well, we've had 3 line drives this inning off of him. We had 3 line drives last inning hit off Carlos.
Well, last time out, look, he threw 122 pitches last time out. That was the most pitches ever thrown in his career. So he got off to a good start, throwing the ball pretty well, but it could very well be that we're seeing some of the effects of last time out with a young pitcher who's not used to throwing that many pitches. Simple as that.
I think you're right on the money. Lindor. He has hit the ball hard twice. Once deep out there and there's a shot into right field. So they're going to hold Kipnis at third, and it's a 3-2 ball game. And they've got a good approach against the left-hander. Right-hander's taking him to right field.
At 63, driven in for Lindor. Took a low fastball, took it to right field. A very smart young hitter. He just does everything. It looks easy.
Yeah. He knows how to play the game.
He does that. Runners at the corners, and it's a one-run game.
Get a lot of young, talented players come up today, especially in today's game, who don't know how to play the game. They have a lot of talent, but that's it. He's the real deal. As Napoli, he is lined hard into a double play and struck out. Struck him out on a good changeup, the best changeup that Carlos has thrown tonight. Outfield straight up, spread out, spaced about equidistant. One and two the count.
Good location for the last pitch. He threw it up and in. Just barely caught a piece of the zone and threw it right by him. I was going to bury his slider, try to wipe him out.
He gone. Big out. 2 down.
We sent him up with the high heat and then went with the slider down, and a big strikeout of Napoli. Got a man at third. You need a fly ball to tie up the ball game. Carlos needs no contact, and he went out and got no contact. But here's a guy who's seen it well off him.
Yes, he is. He's 6 for 13 against him. He's 2 for 2 in this game. 2 line shots. No Kansas City specials tonight from these guys. They're hitting ropes all over the ballpark.
Well, that was a good stop by Omar, because that ball almost got to the screen. It would have been a tie game. One of the things the Indians were taught this year was to be aggressive and anticipate the ball in the dirt. So when it goes away even a few feet, they're taking off. They're one of the best teams in baseball at actually taking the next base, anticipating a ball in the dirt, and taking advantage of it. And that's something they worked on in spring training, something that Terry talked about, because they've got a very fast and a very aggressive team overall.
Yeah, talking to some Cleveland people, and they say this is the best team they have had in a long time, going from first to third.
Yeah. Very good base runners, and they usually take the extra base because they don't hesitate.
3-0 the count. He's probably hitting. As fouled away right side.
We got his fastball, and it was right down the middle, but it was up. He fouled it back. Terry doesn't stop his hitters from hitting the 3-0 pitch very often.
Well, he's got the best 3-0 offense of any manager in the American League. I don't know about the National League, but I would say probably there too.
He just lets him go.
Yeah. Wow. They got him. Got him pretty good.
That hit him hard. It's only the second time all year that Santana's been hit. It's the first time he's been hit right-handed. And Chris Beck starts to throw in the pen.
Yeah. As we mentioned, they're hanging out some hemp on him. So here's Ramirez. He's no slouch. Takes ball one. Jammed himself right there and flips it over our dugout. So we'll count 1-2.
Brewer the bases loaded in a small sampling, but 357 for Ramirez.
Sacks pack. Quick drive.
It's the hardest slider he's thrown tonight at 91 miles an hour. Worked hard, giving up 3 hits, hit a batter, and he's got him loaded 27 pitches.
2-2. Take him right here. You don't want to go full. For first, got him. What a play! What a play by Tim Anderson. Now Sandy.
Well, that's a real good play by Jose Abreu also.
Yeah, it was.
If indeed he did keep the foot on the bag, because it looked like at first he was going to jump for it. Then he decided if he did, guy's going to be safe. Looked like his foot is on the bag. What a play.
And that'll retire the side. They score 1, and it is 3-2 White Sox.
Departments on Thursday, August 25th, or Police and Fire Night. First 10,000 fans receive a special Police and Fire Night commemorative T-shirt presented by UL. For more than a century, UL has been committed to fire safety. Learn more at ul.com/fire. So to purchase your tickets, visit whitesox.com/PDFD or call 866-SOX-GAME.
And what new? One of the things about baseball, a guy who makes a terrific play like that leads off the next inning. And as Steve mentioned, Abreu right there with him. That was a terrific play.
He did a great job staying on the bag.
Yeah.
This looks like a base hit. However, what a great play at first. Ramirez has good speed.
He's got 20 stolen bases, so you know he can run a little bit.
Good speed.
And that is down the line, so Tim going to lead it off with a double. That's just the second hit given up by Clevenger.
That curveball didn't do a whole lot, and as it floated over the inside portion of the plate, he drives it down the line past the diving Ramirez, and the hit streak extended to 11 games. Well, here comes Terry, and apparently it is time to go to the pen with 3 left-handers coming up in a row. So Clevenger did a nice job walking out. We'll step out. We'll be back after these messages. At the ballpark Saturday, August 27th. With the purchase of your Star Wars night ticket, you receive a free Southpaw Star Wars bobblehead. To purchase this package, visit whitesox.com/Star Wars. And we got a new pitcher coming in the game. We saw him last night for 2/3 of an inning, and it is Dan Otero. He's on for the 45th time. He's 3-1, his ERA 150. Last night, Terry Francona brought him in after the 5 runs had scored in the 9th inning, and he got the final 2 outs.
Here's Shuck. He's got a job to do. Corners in close. Ramirez on the grass at third, and that will get the job done. Beautiful bunt. Sacrifice. 1-3.
And the difference here is JB trying to sacrifice, so he uses all the grass. He doesn't want to take it down the line. He just wants to get it in a spot where Otero has to come field it. With the speed of Anderson, he's not going to first base. You saw Perez, the catcher. He is the traffic cop. He's the guy that will tell you where the play should go. He had only one play and he made it. Nice bunt.
So they're going to bring the infield in for Omar Narvaez. Narvaez has hit the ball hard his first at bat, and then he grounded to first his second time. And there's a base hit, and it's a 4-2 ball game. This youngster, as we talked about, is just continuing to impress everybody.
Well, just 24 years old. He's hit safely in every game but one, and that took an overturn on a replay take that base hit away from him in last night's game, 2 nights ago rather. But this time a big insurance run, just his 3rd driven in.
Well, he's only struck out 4 times in 27 at bats. That's why Robin bunted Chuck. Well, the book is closed on Clevenger.
He did a good job at 4+.
Yes, he did.
Gave up the 2 hits. He's responsible for that run.
Adam walked to lead off the ball game. Then he lined back to the pitcher. And then he grounded hard to short. That walk started off a 3-run first against Danny Salazar. Four, 4-1 for our guys. 2-8 and 0 for their guys. That ball scalded for a base hit.
White Sox fans, next time you want to grab White Sox seats, get the StubHub app. We take the price and location of the seats and show you which tickets at StubHub give you the best deal. So get the StubHub app today. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Chicago White Sox.
Don't stop now, boys. There's the strike to Saladino, who has walked, scored, and struck out twice.
I would think that that would be it for Carlos Rodon, who used a whole lot of pitches to get through the 6th inning, and we talked about how many pitches he had last time out.
Jacks it up.
Cleveland Penn, Jeff Manship. Remember him from his days with Minnesota Twins.
Closer pitch.
Yeah, pretty good pitch that time. Tyler got a break.
And a full count. Base hit. Watch out. Rackman. But the RBI single by Omar Narvaez, and we lead it 4-2. 7th inning stretch. with the impact. Coverage begins at 6 on CSN Plus. Gus Beck comes on for Carlos Rodon.
On for the 9th time, a 1-0 record, ERA 5.59.
Boy, you're talking about a battling effort by Carlos Rodon. You just saw it.
Yeah, he threw the ball very well early. It looked to me like he was a little arm weary the last couple of innings, but he got some big outs. Got another double play in the 5th to help get out of that inning after the strikeout, and ground ball to Ramirez in the hole. Great play behind him. The defense picked him up, and he is a pitcher of record as he leaves after 6.
Lonnie Chisenhall hitting for Brandon Guyer. Guyer was 0 for 2. He also threw 4 double play balls.
Yes, he did.
Get that change. Doubled him up.
And Jennings starts the throw.
He gone. I tell you, this is a really balanced Cleveland ball.
Especially with 5 switch hitters.
They have some depth.
That ball off the plate. Chisenhall expanded his zone and goes down on strikes.
So here's Abraham. Almonte 0 for 2 with 2 punch outs. 1 called and 1 swinging. Sox lead at 4-2. 4-5-1 for us. 2-8-0 for them. Both teams have stranded 4. Big gap out there in right center. And that's in the left center. And nobody's going to get that one. A fastball at 94. He just ripped it out there.
This ball down the middle, and for the first time hitting from the left side tonight, Almonte drills it 1 hop off the wall.
10th double.
Now it looks like Nate Jones joined Dan Jennings in the pen.
Want to know the count? 12,982. Just looks to third, goes and gets the out. High hopper. 2 down.
Here's our PNC Bank upcoming schedule. And after this long road trip, time for a homestand. The Athletics come to town tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. And then with Monday off, Philadelphia Phillies provide the opposition for a short 2-game series. That's before Seattle comes to town, and that is the PNC Bank upcoming schedule. So Don Cooper will go to the mound, have a word with Chris Beck. He's going over the scouting report and what they have on Rajai Davis, who hit the ball very hard 3 times against Carlos Rodon, only 1-3 for show for it, a couple of line drives to right field. And one of the things that Omar's got to do behind the plate is make sure that anything down, he smothers it. Goes Almonte with very good speed at third.
Yeah, that series starting tomorrow with the A's should be fun this weekend, so make your plans to be with us. That's ball 1. We're going to run Shields, Sale, and Quintana out there against Melvin's Oakland A's.
The Oakland A's that traded a good portion of their boys away.
Wouldn't know.
Yeah, they seem to do that quite a bit.
Had him off balance right there. And it's a 4-3 ball game. Rajai Davis just absolutely wears us out.
That looked like a changeup. It was inside. It was off the plate. And Davis takes it right down the line.
His 18th double. So just a little double clutch right there. And here comes Robin. Kipnis is going to see Jennings. Or maybe Nate Jones.
Looks like Nate's coming in. So as Beck walks out and Jones comes in, we'll step out and be back after these messages. Experience in the Home Plate Club or Magellan Scout Seats. These 2 premium seating areas are the best way to entertain your most important clients, employees, friends, or family. For more information, call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com/premium seating. Our Hyundai call to the pen is Nate Jones, who comes in with a tying run at second base. On for the 56th time. He's 5-2. His ERA .213. And 61 strikeouts in 55 innings. He's going to face a man swinging it real well tonight, Jason Kipnis.
He has hit it hard 3 times. He's 2 for 3, a single and a double. Takes first pitch strike. 4-5-1 for us, 3-10-0 for them. If you're just darning us. This guy is one tough customer at that plate, especially in big situations. He will compete with him. Make a good pitch right here.
Buried that slider in the dirt. Nice stop by Narvaez.
He gone. He got him. And that'll retire the side, but they come up with a run. It's a 4-3 Sox lead. Latest from Rio. Highlights, game recaps, and much more. Don't miss Sportsnet Central tonight after White Sox postgame live on CSN Chicago. Good guys on top, 4-3.
Lonnie Chisenhall stays in the game to play right field, and that shifts Almonte over to left field.
First pitch strike to Melky.
Here's Abraham.
That's up high. There's a gift. But if you're just tuning in, it's been that way the whole ball game for both sides, so that makes it okay.
pass out of play left side. Soft. One out. You know, you're talking about the umpires having a big strike zone. In years past, the irony of that was there was a different rapport between players and umpires back in the 50s and the 60s and 70s.
Well, you had them so many more times.
Exactly, and you had a lot of respect for the guys. And they would tell you many times, like getaway days especially, hey, Hawk, swing the bat. It's getaway day. Steve, you would know after the first inning, half inning, how big that strike zone was going to be. So that being the case, some of the highest scoring games and best games you'll see, because they force guys to go up there and swing the bat.
Yeah, you knew look, umpire wasn't going to adjust to you. You had to adjust to his strike zone on a given day, and sometimes they were a little wider than others.
Sure. This line into right field. Get over his head. Nope. So Abreu now 1 for 3. Yeah, but it was a much different camaraderie, so to speak, with players and umpires. It was not adversarial. When it started to get adversarial was in the 70s. Here's Morneau. He's 1 for 3, but it was a big one. Back in the first inning, bases loaded. He cleared him with that double off the left field wall. That didn't take long. And we'll go to the bottom of the eighth.
This goes to tell you everything I've said all along. Don't run with scissors.
They got the heart of the order coming up. Lindor, Napoli, Santana, Ramirez. So Nate's got his work cut out for him as we lead it 4-3.
Well, they've been able to combat base stealers by making sure that not many of them got on base. but this is one guy that will steal a base, but not this time.
Jose will take it himself. So a tough out is recorded there. He's now 1 for 4 with a run driven in. Napoli 0 for 3. If you're just joining us, Carlos Rodon started with 6 innings, and I mean, it was a battle for him. 2 runs on 8 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts, threw a lot of pitches, and Steve talked about earlier his last outing, he threw 122 pitches, and it looked like it tonight.
It did, but he started off, I mean, he reached back, got everything that he had, battled him certainly. This is a tough Indians team to beat, especially at home. And Carlos left with the lead. He's still the pitcher of record.
Well, that was one thing that impressed me about him before I ever saw him, when we just signed him. I didn't know Carlos Rodon. Well, I knew him with North Carolina State, you know, when he was good in college. He was drafted 3rd overall. But I talked to a kid that caught him some. Not his primary catcher at State, but and I asked him, I said, tell me about Carlos Rodon. We just got him. He looked at me, he said, Mr. Harrelson, he got some of the biggest stones you ever want to see. And that's impressive.
Well, he went out there tonight. He didn't walk anybody, which was the key to this performance, because he gave up 8 hits in 6 innings. And he faced a team that has been swinging it real well. I mean, during this hot stretch for the Indians, they're scoring over 5 runs per game. And in this ballpark, they're especially tough. So I thought it was a very impressive performance.
Whew. Turn that fan on. That one at 97. Full count. Out and around that one. Right side, wrong shape.
Well, he took a 97-mile-an-hour fastball and got way out in front of it.
That's a Gary Sheffield foul ball right there. Gary Sheffield, one of the greatest fastball hitters to ever play the game.
But this time he might have bought the call, because the appeal before, it was ruled a strike. This time he drops the bat. A lot of hitters will try to do that. We'll watch it again. They'll go out, and now he dropped the bat after he checked it up.
You got nothing to lose. That's the technique.
Yeah. There's been some pretty good hitters that tried that, and it works pretty well normally.
You got to do something. You know, we've talked about it a lot in the past. Having guys work on that in spring training, work on a technique on check swing. How many check swing strikeouts do you think our club gets every year? A ton.
Lots.
A ton.
Yeah, lots.
Work on it in spring training. Try to develop a technique. Whether it's moving the back leg forward, I don't care what it is. Just something that will absolutely get you out of 8 or 10 check swing strikeouts this season.
And Napoli was on the move before he saw where that ball was going to come down. As soon as he saw it was in the dirt, he knew Narvaez couldn't block it.
Santana is 2 for 2. And that ball is just smoked. Got it. He was hit hard his last at bat.
Omar does a nice job here of moving to his right, trying to smother this one and make sure. And Napoli was anticipating it in the dirt, but had to retreat to the bag.
You don't have to be fast to be a good base runner.
No, you don't. Napoli will actually steal a bag on you every now and then.
That ball is smoked to the other side. Just joining us, and scored 3 runs in the first inning. They scored 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, as we put 1 on the board in the top of the 7th. Full count. He gone. 2 down.
There's an example of a high slider. Nate didn't want a high slider, but Santana couldn't have possibly been looking for it. So the high slider gets a good portion of the zone, and Santana down on strikes. Big out.
One thing about that pitch is the count, because if that was on the 2-2 pitch, he's liable to hit that ball very hard. 3-2, not off Nate. Looking for the gas. So here's Ramirez. Can't ease up. He's 1 for 3 with a run batted in. Takes the gas there at 96. Our gun and the gun here at the ballpark is a rule 1 mile an hour apart. We had 96, they have 97 here.
It's normally pretty hard to hit, regardless of which one it is.
One and 2 the count. Close. That pitch has been called a strike a lot of times tonight, but not there.
Maybe a fastball, you got a better chance of a backdoor slider because it comes from further out.
Just got a piece of it. That's out of play. Big gap in right center. And the 2-2. They got a shot. Goes off the mark. Ball in the center field, and the game is tied at 4.
That's 2 hits, 2 driven in. RBIs number 52 and 53 tonight for Ramirez, and heads up base running as he knows the throw is going to be allowed to go through because you've got a shot to try to throw out Napoli. but with the throw a bit off the mark, Ramirez just takes off, continues running, and trying to force a throw to second base, which got through into center field, but a heads-up play and backing up by J.B. Shuck. So the throw, no chance to get Napoli.
Over there. He does. And that'll retire the side, but not before Ramirez, who's been one of the stars on this Cleveland Ball Club this season, ties it up with that base hit.
To you by Miller Lite, and here's our Miller moment, and it came early in this one. Justin Morneau, with the bases loaded, takes one against the wall, drives in 3, giving him 14 for the year, and that lead held up until just last inning. Our Miller moment as Andrew Miller comes into the ball game. On for the 52nd time. He's 6-1 this year, ERA 150. We saw him for 2 innings in the opener, and boy, he was just outstanding. He faced 6 hitters. He threw 16 pitches. He was 6 the first inning, 10 the second inning. And just like that, it was on to Allen, who wrapped it up. But Allen did not wrap it up last night. In fact, he picked up a loss.
So it'll be Frazier, Anderson, and Shuck, the scheduled hitters. Odds 0 for 3. Thanks, first pitch strike. Count 1-2.
That slider is really good, whether he decides to throw it from the outside to the middle or from the middle down and in to the right-handers.
Well, you can forget about that one. He gets it down and in to the right-hander. Grabs the bench.
They traded 4 players for Andrew Miller. 2 of them pretty good. But Frazier 1. He was 1 or 1A as far as their prospects are concerned. And a young pitcher, left-hander, throws awfully hard by the name of Sheffield, who you just might see. David Robertson, Jacob Turner. You score, it's Robbie. You don't score, it's Turner. Simple as that.
One out.
Now this is the one that breaks down and into the right-handers, and it looks hittable, and it just disappears.
Well, that's the one I said. You just grab some bench. It's not gonna do. If you hit it, it's going to go foul. Here's Tim. Makes a strike. He's 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored.
Yikes.
Nothing you can do about that.
Oh, it's pretty much, it's like Chris Sale's slider.
Yeah.
If Chris Sale were working out of the bullpen and coming in and throwing, 1 or 2 innings.
Well, Chris to me has got a better slider than Miller, but he's got more depth on it.
Yeah, but imagine if you had to face Chris where you weren't facing him through 7 or 8 innings.
Forget it.
Just facing him 1 inning.
Forget it.
Or possibly 2, but only 1 at bat.
Yeah. In fact, I was hoping when we got him and I first saw him, I was hoping they'd make him the closer.
Yep. Would have been a good one, but Jason Coates.
Coates for shot. That ball deep into right field. Get over his head. It will. Jason will pull into second with the pinch hit double.
That's one of the few fastballs that Miller has thrown. Chisenhall came in the game and he hit it over his head. We talked about how fairly shallow Chisenhall has been playing throughout this series. This one hits the bottom of the fence, bounds away, and that's the go-ahead run out at second base.
Well, that's a mistake on their part, positioning.
Yep. Should play him deep, and
You got to get a no double set
with 2 outs. Absolutely.
So it'll bring up the honor to hit for Narvaez, who was 1 for 3 with a big RBI single back in the 7th inning.
For Chicago batting for Narvaez will be number 27.
Yeah, I thought this sale would have been the ultimate closer.
So if you're Terry Francona here, do you put Navarro on first base and go Adam Eaton against Andrew Miller?
No, I wouldn't.
Well, he's going to pitch to him. Let's see how it works out.
Pitch. Pretty good hack at that one.
Had a fastball right down the middle.
Yeah. Pinch hitting is one of the toughest jobs in the game. And when you're facing good stuff like Miller,
Let's try to pick out a fastball. I mean, if he'll throw you one, pick out a fastball.
You got to.
He won't hit anything else.
What else you going to hit?
He got his fastball and he hit it hard.
And the count 1-2.
That one got a good piece of Perez. He's going to walk that off, and Adrian Johnson's going to give him an opportunity. Oh, yeah. That's not good. The right side gets a little blurry.
He's been there and done that before.
Bill McEwing able to get out of the way of that one. That was good.
So Perez, Miller, chit chat. For their guys in their half of the ninth inning, schedule hitters are Almonte, Perez, and Rajai Davis. 4-4 tie. That ball hit deep into right center field. And that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the ninth, tied at 4.
Jacob Turner. After the 11th time, 1-1 ERA, 8.79. He's got to face bottom pair in the order. And then back to the top. Jason Coates goes in right field, shifting Adam Eaton over to center field. Deandre Navarro checks in the game after his pinch hitting stint. Almost hit the ball out of the ballpark, but just died in the gap.
Almonte. Good rip. Fouls it away left side.
Ryan Shaw loosening up, so odds are Turner can get him out this inning. We will see Shaw.
That ball hit hard. Nobody's going to get it. So the leadoff double.
Last 2 times up, Almonte has absolutely crushed it. And he represents a winning run at second base. Got a fastball, stayed up in the zone. No chance for Jason Coates to get that one.
So here's Perez, and he's got a job to do. Ball gets away. That'll be a pass ball.
He knows he's going to get a high fastball. That ball just drops out of the glove. So now Perez is going to be taken down. I think we're going to see Naquin.
Tyler Naquin. Former #1 pick.
And a man who really forced his way onto this ball club by having just a great spring training. I mean, he looked terrific, and everybody said, well, look, it's spring training. I mean, but you look at those numbers and you realize he's got a lot of talent.
Better have been a #1.
Yeah, bona fide challenger for Rookie of the Year. Infield in at all 4 positions, outfield in at all 3 positions.
And he's got a 1-0 count. Caught, and this ball game is over.
Naquin came on with a job to do, and that job was, at the very least, hit a fly ball, and he got one thigh high, took it to center field, and Almonte just too fast.
So that's a tough one for us once again. How many tough ones have we had this year? Too many, Stevie.
Took a 3-0 lead, and unfortunately, the Indians just kept pecking away and pecking away. Made it 4-2. Again, the Indians just kept pecking away until some of their role players, and Almonte is one of those role players.
Well,
he came
the
up
depth
big.
on this ball club is very impressive in Cleveland. I mean, they have a very balanced ball club with plenty of depth, plenty of starting pitching, and now with Miller out there in that pen and Cody Allen. They're good. They're tough. So, for my partner, Steve Stone, our Hall of Fame director, Jim Angio, our future Hall of Fame producer, Mike Leary, our associate producer, Joe Groove, our very fine technical manager, Mark Harper, also for one of our favorite crews here, my freeway buddy down in the truck, Doug Bullard, Doc Velasco, Mike Stahl, Mike Bixenstock. Good crew here in Cleveland. Also the executive producer, Jim Corno Jr. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Postgame Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sports.